But isn't the segment called the Sports Kitchen? Please,
Yes, it is.
thank you. Whew, I didn't want to
Yes,
mess.
sir.
I didn't want to mess it up, man. I really didn't. But
You're all good, Devo. It's all good and fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this just goes to show you what happens when a bunch of guys start joking around. Something actually happens.
yeah, man, yeah, something does actually happen, which is crazy. Uh, we started all this out as a joke, and it turned into something legit. And we always joke and clown each other. We do it all the time on the show, and we clown William. And then at the end of it, we just decided, you know what? That sounds like a great name for a show. So we're gonna debut this thing here in a couple weeks. This was a few weeks ago. My man William has been ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just hand it over to Mr. William Graves and give him his time. The Sports Kitchen has debuted on the Rat Pack Sports Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. William Graves.
Hello, hello, hello. I would like to welcome you all to the initial segment of the Sports Kitchen. Why is it called the Sports Kitchen? Well, that's actually a pretty funny story because everybody seems to have their own little handles or tags. Like we got Nicholas Slade, Nicky Buckets, the NBA Insider. We got Boss Hog, Sean Naylor, who's our NFL fantasy football guru. We got the left field correspondent. We also got the queen of the Rat Pack, Miss Tara. And then, of course, we got Debo, Mr. Derek Jones, the founder of this show. And without him, we would not be here right now, and I would not be talking. But so I would, I kind of joked around with a lot of little handles and everything. And one day, left field goes, man, he goes, you ain't nothing but a crock pot. He goes, you always stirring, you always cooking something. And I was like, all right, so it just kind of stuck. And Carlson, he'll call me Crockpot every once in a while. Everybody does. Like Derek said, we clown each other. We have way too much fun doing this. We actually got paid to do it. Man, it would almost be illegal. But anyway, so for my initial segment, there there's something that I saw come across my feed, and it was in the state of Georgia. And what this was is that they were okaying the NIL deals for high school athletes. And you know, I at first I was like, no, no, this is going to destroy sports, and it's just not a good thing. Well, after really sitting and thinking about it, I'm not saying that it's all good, but I am gonna kind of change my tune just a little bit on this, and I'm going to say that it may not be as bad as what we think, but there definitely has got to be some sort of regulation to this. Because so here's the thing, us uh, us old timers and everything, people that grew up 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and everything like that. we're always what we were taught is you go and you get a job, regardless if it's at a McDonald's or a Burger King or a grocery store. At a certain age, you go and you get a job, and that's your money. That's where you really start learning the fundamentals of life. Well, let me rephrase that, of being an adult and having to make and really starting to make decisions. Now, those decisions as you get older are a lot more serious and everything. But as a teenager, it's, well, do I want to go to the movies, or do I want to save up and go on, I don't know, a backpacking trip across Europe, something like that. Okay, maybe that's a little on the extreme side. Maybe it's go to the movies or go see a concert, something like that. And the this is where I I think that the regulations and actually being taught stuff it needs to be said, because we're taught this that's what you do when you get to a certain age, you go and you get a job. Well, that's essentially kind of what these what this NIL thing kind of does. It kind of gives them a job. Now, I know what everybody's going to say. Oh, it's not a real job. Blah 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 blah. Okay, look, my first job was a fry cook at McDonald's in North Pole, Alaska. It definitely wasn't no NIL deal for my baseball playing skills, which it was, but that wasn't even thought of back then. So here we are. The NIL is kind of shaping the way collegiate sports are are essentially going to be done. And the thing is that again, I really do think that it may be okay. It may not be as bad as what we're thinking, but there's going to have to be a lot of oversight to this, because with everything, there's always going to be problems. And one of the biggest problems that I foresee is the recruiting of high school players. There's already a small problem with that, and I just feel like that this NIL thing could make it bigger, where where one school district that maybe has a lot of money is now able to go out and under the NIL get the best players from all over. And you know, it's a catch 22, folks. This is a catch 22, and unfortunately, it's something that's going to have to be navigated. And but I mean, folks, this is where we are at. High school players are going to start getting paid, and the thing is I really do hope that they give some sort of financial class or something like that to these players, because some of these players, they're not exactly coming from the best living situations. And even now, with the way inflation and prices on stuff are, it's pretty hard to make ends meet. You throw a $200,000 or $300,000 check down in front of one of these kids, especially if the mom and dad are there and they see that check with all them zeros. Look, it's only $300,000, but folks, for some people, me included, that's life-changing money. And the thing is that with that life-changing money, you almost you kind of you sell yourself to a point. But I mean that's what it's all about. But the thing is I don't want these kids making all this money from high school all the way through the pros, making millions of dollars, and then after that being broke. Folks, we have seen it way too many times where these halfway good athletes at one point in time that made a few $1 million are now back working at a retail at a Walmart, a gas station, something, a car dealership, all because they went and they blew all their money. And folks, with this NIL deal, because if you guys think for a second that Georgia is going to be the only state to do it, they can get that Texas and Florida are not far behind, and probably the state of California. But folks, this it's going to be a problem, but with the right guidance, it may not be as bad as I initially thought it would be. But again, I'm actually literally on my phone driving down the road, so I'm not in front of a computer. I don't see what's going on in the chat and everything like that. So, listeners, leave your comments in the chat. Leave them on our Facebook page. Hit us up on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. I mean, shoot, look me up. Let me know what you think about this and everything, because I am genuinely curious to know what exactly your guys' thoughts are. But folks, that again, I appreciate you guys listening. I am going to continue to try to do my best day in and day out to actually bring something to the table that contributes to what we're doing here at the Rat Pack. But as for me, I'm William Graves, and this was the Sports Kitchen.
All right, man. That's a pretty good conversation to have, man. I know we spoke about it a few weeks back, and